Is it because of the laptop?
Might be.
Oh. Do we need to... Do you need a chair?
Yeah, let's go. Who has the timer? Somebody has the timer? Who has the timer? Okay. So, it's time for the Hoff. In 3, 2, 1, go. Thanks for the hype, Gab. I appreciate it. It's like, wow. So glad to be here. So this is Knight Rider 2, and due to the non-existing applause, I was kind of distracted and I might fail this first mission now, but it's fine. It's even more fun because I practiced one of the very difficult tricks like 10 minutes before the run and I got a 10th try, so we should be good to go, really. I don't see any problem here. Yeah, so I'm David Hesseldorf, and on couch with me are some guys who may introduce themselves if they want. Okay, no, they don't. At least one of them has a headset, I'm pretty sure, so. Please!
So, I am Samabam.
Oh, let's go.
This is Drunken Shoe, and this is Sphere. None of us know anything about this game.
Yeah, I mean, Sam is American, given this is based on the TV series Knight Rider from the 80s, American TV show. I'm pretty sure he's the most fitting candidate to couch for this.
I did not know this game was based on a TV show.
No, honestly, perfect circumstances. I'm much looking forward to this. Anyways, this game revolves around Michael Knight, the main protagonist of Knight Rider, as well as Kit, the talking car, which, I mean, honestly suffices as a game concept in the first place, because it needs more. Got a man, got a car, both talking to each other, it's like perfect. But even better, we only... okay, the only character accessible to us in this game is Kit, because all the driving, fighting, platforming, everything we do with Kit. We not one. Okay, no, we see Michael Knight once in a cutscene, but that's, in my opinion, was what makes this, at least this game. Let's not talk about the run just yet, but makes the game rather interesting. That you're platforming with a car, like what? Insane. Way ahead of its time. So the first level out of 11 is the, so you can see, the tutorial level where we learn how to play the game. Or at least I hope I'll learn how to play the game, because I'm kind of lost already. Like, how does this work? So you can drive, you can jump, we will be able to shoot later, drive on 2 wheels, drive very fast, but it's not very fast. It's only a hallucination. We'll also get to that later. And one of the most important features is we can skip cutscenes, and not all cutscenes, but most cutscenes, which happen during a level. So usually the cutscene at the end of a level you cannot skip, but all the others you can skip, because that's a very important distinction which has to be made. Obviously, don't really get it.
Are you casually melting giant blocks of ice with a laser attached to your robot car?
No.
So when they were making this game, do you think they asked themselves if they should, or were they too preoccupied with whether or not they could?
It's rather the question, why shouldn't they not do it? Like, I feel like that's the question at hand there, really. To answer the question, yes, we did melt giant ice blocks with a very focused laser beam. It's fun. So for the actual speed tag, at least for the first level, there will be a plethora of different glitches and skips later on the run. But for the first one, the only tag really is bunny hopping, which Sphere and Jay on the couch might appreciate. The Quake Runner, very proficient Quake Runner, we'll also see in, what, 4 hours or so. Very much looking forward to him going 20 minutes over estimate. But for now, we will, okay.
So, Sphere, it really sounds like you should have the headset, right? Because you're the one who can relate to all this sick speed tech.
Well, bunny hopping is only a thing in level 1, alright? Might point that out. So, I should maybe actually explain. So, as you can see, Kit can jump, and there's also a cooldown attached to the jump. However, if you just buffer the input, like right now I'm just holding W in space, and you know, this consecutive jumping, and the more you do it, as you can see in the speedometer, the faster you go. Which actually is a good representation of the actual speed you have. Because for the first 45 seconds of the game... no, all good. For the first 45 seconds of the game, of the run, you just hold W in space. There's nothing else you can do. You can buffer all the way until the first cutscene. And there you go up to speeds of like, what, 180 miles per hour. Which actually saves... My palms are kind of sweaty. Knees weak, arms... No. Actually, this bunny hopping at the start of the mission saves 10 seconds over driving normally, so it's actually fast, I think. Yeah. So this cutscene we sadly cannot skip.
Michael, what a surprise.
How are you?
I've been better. Somebody just tried to shoot missiles at us. What are you telling me? We were just driving on this deserted road, and then out of the blue, these missiles show up. Kid is now scanning the debris.
Got to really take in and soak up the lore here. It's like it's cutscene. It's everything to me.
Sounds very suspicious. Listen, don't drive to the Foundation.
Sounds
I'll
very
send Bobby
suspicious.
in your direction with the semi. You'll rendezvous halfway. And Michael.
Yes, Devin?
How we get
Be
to
careful out there.
Discord?
Well, kid, you heard the
I'll be careful out there.
Let's get out of these
Thanks.
mountains and find Bonnie. Mission complete.
Okay, dude, I'm really feeling it, honestly. Okay, time to drive fast. So what we'll do now is the Super Pursuit mode, which was already introduced at the end of the last mission. And there the game bluntly lies to you and tells you you're going at 314 miles per hour. And in reality, it's 130. What the game does is kind of trick you, or to kind of deceive you, is first of all the screen goes red. The screen goes red. Field of view goes up to 450 or so, and that's why it kind of looks like you're going fast, but you're not. I actually did the math and measured it. You're going at like 135, which is still faster, of course, than normal driving, so it's to be desired. But I don't get why the developers would do this. Like, either you can program 300 mph or you can't, but then don't do it. Oh, we are behind a gate. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so usually that gate's supposed to stop you. I mean, it's kind of what gates do, to my knowledge at least, but we don't care about this. So we just... Cool, would you go into the cutscene? Nice. So what happened there was the gate skip. And luckily there's a drive from A to B mission afterwards. We have plenty of time to explain. Sam, would you mind explaining this trick?
Yeah, so I'm guessing there was a load trigger on the other side of that gate, and you clipped through the gate just enough to hit it.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially correct. Actually. Yeah. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I too speedrun video games, believe it or not.
Yeah. So what actually happens there, or at least what I'm sure of what happens there, is following. You use the reset position feature this game offers you. When you hit the enter key, you will reset to the nearest, oh my god, nearest position the developers set.
Better avoid the next one.
And there, right before this gate, there's a cutscene. If you drive into the cutscene very quickly and you cancel the cutscene very early, what happens, or what I'm pretty sure happens, its only real explanation is that the kid's hitbox and kid's texture desyncs. So our hitbox is actually like, I don't know, 3 meters or 20 yards or whatever in front of us. So although our texture only drives up to the gate, our hitbox is behind, hits the preset position reset trigger, and when we reset our position, we are behind the gate. Maybe, like either that or the game just goes, what's that, zoop? How does it go? Oh yeah, also who needs roads, honestly? It's like a stupid concept in the first place. You can just drive on sand and have the actual same speed. Because that makes sense. Okay, so far we only really learned about driving, and next up, it's the obvious next step to introduce fighting with a car. So let's just do that, honestly.
That was close. Let's get back to the semi. Okay, Michael.
Okay, Michael. Okay, let's go.
Someone in chat just called out Couch for not being very helpful.
Please, be careful.
Yeah, so this game has a plethora of different weapons, and namely 3. You have a laser gun, which is essentially useless, plasma gun, which is the main weapon we'll use,
Not too bad.
and then there are the missiles, which you only use to destroy predetermined targets like this big tower.
Watch them.
So yeah, it's really only you have a plasma gun. Although you're gonna honestly say it's miles ahead of Knight Rider 1, the game, which came out 3 years earlier, I think. And you fight in that game by driving into the other car and hope damage calculation works correctly, which it doesn't do. So most of the time you're just driving into each other and you die first. This is a great speed game. Luckily they decided to have weapons. If you're doing, fighting against 5 million robots, you have weapons. Much appreciated. And yeah, so for this mission, not all the fighting has been done. There's some more fighting to come. But for now, we just gotta activate a few terminals, which will open the floor gate in the end, or trapdoor. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to be. And then we can move on to mission 5, which has the first very big glitch of the game, which either saves 2 minutes or crashes my game. So, I mean, what could go wrong, honestly? I'm sure Couch shares my positive attitude on this.
The number of things that could go wrong has been compounded by the fact that you started practicing 20 minutes ago.
No, that's fine, okay, yeah. I am the speedrun community for this game. Who, if not me? Anyways, one small tech, but that will also come a bit later again. These preset reset checkpoints thingies, they are only on the floor level, at least in this level. They're only on the floor level. So when I'm up there on the whatever that's called, imports, that the word for like the upper level of this, whatever. So if you're up there and you reset position, you get teleported down to the floor, which is very nice. So you can drive into obstacles like a fucking idiot. A hacking idiot, I'm sorry. Please don't ban me from the runner's seat.
Excuse me.
Alright,
Like,
for
up
level
next,
done.
it's still the
Next
same
up
game.
is a bit of gambling. It's not really gambling.
Oh,
Trick should be
damn.
consistent. By saying that, I doomed myself to crash the game 4 times in a row. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I
damn.
also
Ah, yeah, I got it first try, easy. Yeah, so what I did there, just saved 2 minutes.
Do you
I
think
think it's
that
pretty
Sam
evident
did
what
donate
happened, but if Sam wants, he can explain
while
what
the computer was
just
running?
went on.
I think
Yeah, I actually did catch like 10 seconds of you explaining this a long time ago.
Oh, nice, okay.
So,
Then I actually qualified for this. Let's go.
so,
I'm waiting.
so you did the
okay.
jump thing
Yeah.
and like spun the camera super duper quickly,
Yeah.
and that caused you to clip through the collision a bit? Question
Yeah.
mark?
No, kind of like, it's not too
I
far
don't know,
off, really.
It's like a,
So
inner joke,
this trick was actually
or
found,
that's
or this glitch rather, the
fine?
spin glitch was only really found 2 months ago. It's not too far. Oh, come on. It's not too far off. Not too long ago. What actually happens there is you combine a bunch of movements you have in the game. First of all, if you stand still and you start driving in a circle, at some point Kit will brake and leave these brake marks on the back tires. That you combine with jumping and the two-wheel mode at the same time. And what essentially happens is the game, pardon my French, fucking breaks. And you fly all over the place. And in that spot it's particularly helpful because there are walls around you, so there are 2 chances. Either, oh no, there are 3 chances. Either you crash because you go over the speed cap, or you go through the laser gate and you're behind it and get the reset position checkpoint thing and you're fine. or you land, if you mess up the timing,
Be careful.
you land in the laser gate and die. But that's fine because you have unlimited retries on a mission. So there's no such thing as you game over and have to start from the beginning of the game, which is nice. Yeah, we just drove through the laser gate. Sadly, due to the epic spin glitch, we did, or rather mission 5 skip, same thing. We didn't see how utterly powerful these laser gates were in the in the previous level. If we drove through them, you were essentially dead. It took like 50% of your health, and in this mission you just drive through them and you lose 2 health points out of 40. I guess. I'm not sure why they thought it was a great idea to weaken the lasers in such a manner that they're absolutely useless, but I appreciate the idea, surely. Because usually you can one-cycle this chopper, unless he does this and goes out of sight and you can't target him anymore. Because you have a targeting system which has to charge up. It's all this fun, of course. And what he can do occasionally, he can just go out of sight and you can't target him anymore. Which is great. Lost a whole bunch of runs to that, and now we can just wait.
So Toka, you've started an intense debate in chat about whether or not swearing is actually allowed at this marathon. And I saw one person explaining that they are 5 years old and they don't understand French. So
okay,
if you would like to define some of your curse words, it might help.
Okay. Qu'est-ce que le fuck? I hope that's sufficient for the moment. Anyways, mission 7 out of 11 is one of the longest missions of the game. And there's a lot of fighting involved, but it also has some interesting routes or strategies which we'll encounter later. Because what you can do in this game, or rather what you cannot do in this game, is charge up missiles, go into a cutscene, and then the missiles are charged after the cutscene. Which is why, for example, for this first big laser gun thing or whatever, we charge up the missiles, we shoot before the cutscene, because we have to wait until the laser gun is destroyed. Otherwise, if we go over the ramp, there's a cutscene which insta-kills us.
Don't they give up?
And there will be multiple occurrences or multiple instances of this happening in this mission. Also a very nice thing they implemented from now onwards. You can skip the cutscenes where the enemies are emerging from a gate. Which... that was a very nice movement. Which is... of course it's helpful, but it's not as helpful as you may think. Because you can only... or the enemies are only vulnerable after they finish their script to go to the location they're predestined to go after the gate opens. Also, I should maybe focus on not missing the timer here. Oh my god. Dude, I can't see the game with these sunglasses. Like, what is going on? No, it's fine. So, usually you should never miss this gate, because you have so much kind of leeway for the timer. However, I will admit I already failed the gate timer once or twice. I admit it in shame, but I do it because I think you should be honest at these marathons. And then in the next sentence say I'm the best player of this game ever. Which is not wrong, because I'm kind of the only player. The only active player. There are 4 runs on the leaderboard. And there was even one splicing attempt, like 2 years ago, where somebody couldn't not get the gate clip, like the mission 2 skip, and just spliced it in a very bad manner. I'm not sure why he felt like it was necessary to splice a run of Knight Rider 2, the game, with a highly contested world record, but it's just an interesting side fact.
Where are all those robots coming from?
Don't think I ever laughed as much as when that run submission came in and I saw the splice. But that's beside the point. For now, we'll do some fighting. Who would have thought that? Almost like I announced that at the start of this mission. And here will be another instance of parallelizing. So what we cannot do is charge up the missiles now, because the cutscene where the terminal is activated, that one takes away the missiles. But what you can do, you can shoot missiles while you're scanning a terminal to open a door. You can also do it through a cutscene which is not related to opening a door, or some main event of the mission, which we'll see later on. Or not later on, like a minute or so.
Oh no, more robots.
So now we just do some more fighting. Fighting is going very nicely so far. The thing is, if you don't kill the enemies as quickly as you can, and they start driving around you and trolling you, especially the small enemies, they drive around you in circles, and there's a voice in my head just goes, ha 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 ha, fucking loser. That's how it sounds in my head when they troll me like that.
I mean, isn't that voice just always there, though?
That's sad, but accurate, yeah. Thank you for that kind of input. It's highly appreciated. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So we can charge the missiles, we can shoot. The auto-aiming, which is not trivial, persists through this cutscene. So we, at this point, can say, I don't know, like charging missiles and shooting is like 10 seconds, 15 or so. Okay, the same thing we can do here. We can charge up the missiles through this cutscene, which also is not trivial. Now you might say, well, that's a pretty big downside, because now the enemies are running freely and you can't kill them first frame. That's in principle true, however... no, that's true. No, in principle it's true, however... I gotta think for a second, sorry. I think I kind of have to recharge my energy. Usually on a run I wouldn't do this, but... I'd rather not die here and lose a couple of minutes. Okay. So these enemies, as you saw, spawn in waves, and the next wave only spawns... or a wave at another gate only spawns when the waves from the previous gate are all cleared. So it doesn't matter how quickly you kill the first wave of a gate, but only how quickly you kill the last one. Ah, you fucking loser.
Did you just knock over one of the enemies by driving into them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Why don't you do that more often?
It's not really useful, because what you usually want to do is you want to drive up to them and shoot them first frame possible, essentially. Also, you can't really do it consistently. Like, if it happens by chance, it's nice, but...
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, wrong. This is the way to go. The time is like 22. What? Oh my god, I forgot. I forgot to shoot the laser cannon. That's fine, so I can actually explain that scanning these terminals is very sensitive to getting attacked by enemies, whether it be robots or laser cannons, or actually anything. Anything that interrupts this cutscene, even if it's other cutscenes, the terminal cutscene is deactivated. And says, microgem failed. In a very serious manner, just, you know, you messed up.
So I notice we're halfway through the estimate. Are we halfway through the game?
So there are 30 more missions. No, we're fine. So we like, from here on, if it goes well, we have
It's like when you think you see something in
like 6 more minutes.
But when you turn your head, it's not there.
So if it goes well, we are way underestimated. If I fail the trick I spoke about in the beginning 10 times again, might kind of get in trouble, but just gives the next run a bit more time to practice. Mission completed. Positive vibes. Okay, mission 8. So this is the first. So yeah, it kind of depends if you count the chopper fight, mission 6. If you count that as a proper boss fight or not, I'd rather not say that or do that. But this one is the first actual boss fight. This one is Goliath, the truck, which was responsible for all the destruction you did not see in mission 2 because you skipped everything. But if you would know his front laser is capable of a whole lot of damage. Oh yes, please go over him. So that's funny. Dude, funny. Funny. He's literally hiding from me. Is it Easter already? Actually, this never happened before. Not once in my life has he gone back here. The thing is, for phase 1, he has a shield in the front, so you have to shoot his tank in the back, whatever it precisely is. So the best thing that can happen is that he gets stuck somewhere and you just, you know, camp behind him and kill him like this. Very nice energy. And for the second phase, his shield in the front is deactivated, and now we can just plasma gun him as quickly as we can. One advantage of the plasma cannon, although it's in principle the weakest weapon of this game, but there's no cap on how quickly you can shoot other than your abilities to mash, essentially. Ah, okay. I was too fast. So there's a cutscene skip you can attempt. You saw these cutscenes where Goliath charges up his laser, his front laser, and if you deliver the final hit during one of these cutscenes, so you shoot the plasma gun right before such a cutscene happens, which is insanely difficult, but if you do that, he dies in the cutscene, and the cutscenes stack. So you have the small cutscene where he activates a laser, you have this final mission cutscene, which is like 52 seconds. So these overlap. Now the small cutscene where he charges his laser, you can skip. This one you cannot. However, if they're stacked, and you press the button to skip cutscene, this cutscene doesn't play at all. I found this by chance during the run, which is currently world record and which will never be beaten again. Of course, I did it insanely fast, and it's also insanely difficult. So, yeah, this world record will never, ever be beaten. Quote me on this.
Would you describe it as frame perfect?
No, you have a bit of leeway. The problem is that there's no indicator whatsoever of when the cutscene happens like this. You can have a rough feeling of when it happens, but there's nothing precise, like the fourth beat of the
Sorry, I meant your world record. Would you describe your world record as frame perfect?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't every speedrunner do that?
Do we have time for a quick donation?
I think there was a donation call, so yes, I didn't hear it, but
okay.
If so, yes.
Yeah, he just failed the trick, go for it.
Okay, cool. So we've got... Can I read, right? Yeah, okay, cool. We got 7balls7 with $5 saying, can someone tell to the runner that he's getting bold? Hey, Talker, be careful out there. We also got $2 from Thmothlax, I think. Hello, I hope everyone has a good time at SpeedCon and good luck on the run, Talker. So thank you for your donation. And we've got another $5 from Anderson0111 saying, glad to donate to a good cause. Heart emote. Here's hoping it helps someone in need. Thank you so much.
Okay, nice. It's not over yet. If we die at any point, we gotta do the trick again, so I'd rather be a bit careful. But this is really the most difficult part of the skip. Mission 9, or Mission 9 skip is rather famous, was found by Epic Dude Guy 2 years ago, when he, for some reason, I'm not even sure why he found it out, but he discovered that you can drive on this, like this weird, I'm not even sure what it is, these kind of pipes, and they have a roof-like collision, which you can drive on and even jump off if you do it correctly. Okay, looks good, looks good. Don't fall down or I die. Let's go.
It's best not to question how Epic Dude Guy finds the things he does.
Yeah,
I don't think
fully,
we want to get into devil worship in this stream.
Yeah. No, so the point about this mission is that it essentially goes in a circle once. It usually takes 8 minutes, something like that. 7 minutes, I'm not even sure anymore. Before we found the skip, I actually did this mission in its entirety. Unthinkable. And with this skip, what you essentially do this weird out-of-bounds-ish platforming, or unintended platform. It's not really out of bounds, strictly. But hello? I'm pressing buttons. It's kind of unintended platforming. And what you can do is you can get to the end of the mission right from the start, because it goes in circles. From there on, you only have to hit a load trigger, such that the game knows, he's at the end. He didn't go through all the middle and everything, but he's at the end now, so that's fine. So the final cutscene loads, and we can finish the level. That was honestly the trick I was most worried about. And getting a third try for a marathon is rather solid. I'll take that. Okay, now for this mission, this is mission 10 out of 11. There's a bunch of interesting things here. For the first area, there are 7 enemy waves, which come in 1, 2, 2, 2. And between each of these, there's a small break. So right now, this was wave 4, this is wave 5. And in the... Oh, this is bad. Could be close. So in principle, between wave 5 and 6, so this one and the next one, there is just enough time to activate this terminal. Unless they know I didn't mess up, all good. I was a bit slow, but I will still make it in here. That's very nice. Essentially skips 2 waves of enemies. So it's like, I don't know, 20, 25 seconds. Those are the biggest enemies, which have the least mobility, but are the easiest to kill due to that. And they don't really do damage if you're close to them. Another interesting thing, you can actually get into this final part of the mission from the start. There's a quite precise jump you can do where you jump into the terminal at just the right time, such that the top of the terminal boosts you a bit in height and you get to the end of the mission essentially. Sadly nothing, and by nothing I mean nothing is loaded. You can't activate this cannon. Although it's physically there and your missiles hit him, or hit it, it doesn't take any damage. There's also no cutscene trigger, there's nothing. It's one of the saddest moments of my life. I was so glad that you can get here early. Useless. Just like me. Positive vibes. Anyways, final mission of the game. This can take 50 seconds or 2 minutes. It's fine. So what we want to do here is some kind of enemy manipulation by driving left and right, as you can see. We wanna influence his pattern such that he doesn't know what the heck's going on. And
now we're bringing out the child-friendly things.
Yeah. What the oblivious fuck is going on? And
okay, now we're back to the curse words. Okay.
And yeah, we essentially manipulate him in such a way that he stays away from you or stays afar from you. He doesn't go into combat mode with you, and you can just charge all the way. That's the whole idea of the fight. And if he ever charges you like that because you messed up, you can still jump over him, which is fine. Okay. So one thing I want to do here. This is important. Oh yeah, time by the way. I'm sorry, I didn't kind of talk. Yeah, let's go. Thanks for the applause, guys. Let's. Yeah, sorry, I was kind of trying to set up something very funny. So I ended the fight in this ring of fire in the middle, which doesn't insta-kill you, it only damages you. Although quite quickly, but if you end the fight in this ring of fire, this happens. Kid is literally on fire. So funny. And will persist through through the whole end cutscene, which will only take a minute. I very much like the layout, by the way, where it says up next and then strike through, not right to the gas. It's a level of professionalism I want to see at this marathon.
Michael, my sensors indicate a dramatic increase of the temperature inside the rocket's fuel tank.
Yes, I think that's the final thing we should really soak in this cutscene, which will be the last thing we see of this game in this marathon. So we should, you know, gotta be aware of it, feel it. Warning.
Toka, while we're here, we may as well do a hard sell on you and your internet personality. You have other runs at this marathon, do you not?
I do, indeed.
What are those, and when could people tune in to see more of you?
Really had to do it. Really had to do it. Yes, I have further runs on Friday. Friday afternoon, I will show off Deponia 2, a point-and-click game, which will be way more action-packed than you might expect, as well as Prince of Persia Warrior Within at Saturday at 2 AM. Really looking forward to that time slot. Just like I hope everybody on the couch and the audience.
You got it.
You got it. So if you want to see one of the lovely men on this couch throughout the marathon, they also have a few runs, which they, if they want, may plug now. Just so this is not a one-sided thing, you know. Which you might... Do you want to say when you have a run, or is it?
I will be running the best Prince of Persia game at 6 a.m. So please
tune in for that.
Yeah, please tune in for that. Set your alarms. You know, it will be very fast-paced, and it won't take long to run. I promise.
Yeah. All right. This was Knight Rider 2 the game, and let's end with a quiz speed run. 10 questions, and we got 2 of those correct. That was very disappointing. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you around, and hoff on.